Hello Saber fans. This video is just going to go over the details of this Saber. I want to start off by thanking Pete Sandoval. He contacted me and said he wanted to do something for me just because I've been a good friend to him, even through the times where a lot of people were hating on him and talking a lot of garbage, which a lot of it has turned out to be garbage. Some of it might be true, I don't care. But at first I'm like, you don't have to do something for me being a friend, but he said he had an extra KRS and he wanted to do it. So I'm like, sure, man, I'd love it. I'll keep it. I'll try to, do something special with it. So after he started showing me some etch options, I picked kind of what I wanted. I was originally thinking of trying to do kind of a knockoff August Den for this, but after he showed me the etch, some other ideas started coming up. And Prince of Persia is what was on my mind. Now I know this is not an actual Prince of Persia theme, but that is what was in the back of my head the entire time I was doing this. A couple of people have said this looks a little nautical, which it does, but still yet, Prince of Persia is what was on my mind. So I wanted it to look old school, ancient. If Prince of Persia had lightsabers, I feel like this might be what somebody might have carried around. So, I went organic. I have genuine raised skin on here. This was my first time of doing a seam. I still need to file this down a little bit because it's thicker here than here. But I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. But I wanted a lot of brass on it. Just some, add a little definition and character to it. So let's talk about the greeblies. This piece right here and this piece right here are doors from Goth's chassis for New Hope Luke Saber. And they were a little pricey. They are printed brass. But I thought they looked good on here, so I used them. Now I got to replace the ones for my chassis, but whatever. This is just, rod bent. I machined this bar right here. I machined this screw right here. There is a screw holding this on. This isn't glued on. I machined that. This was a sight plug, an oil sight plug. You'll find them in the heating and air industry a lot. Other places probably too. But so it's a 3/8 glass sight plug that I machined down to look the way it does. I machined the brass buttons. These are inserts, threaded inserts, 440 thread for printed material. I don't remember where I found them, but this is just a thumb screw that I machined down, and my camera's not showing real good, but there is a fake diamond in there. Just add a little screw and a tab. This wire right here I pulled out of a Canon Model Y flash that I was working on. I machined out a little slot here and put a bar in there and some pins on each side. This is where the set screw went for the heat sink, so I just, turned it into a greebly. Just wanted things to look kind of random and as if it was possibly modded over the years from a time back when lightsaber technology was new. I added a brass ring here because I needed to space it out anyways for the install that I wanted to do on this. This claw is a printed claw. I got it off of Shapeways. I painted it up. I put a steel insert in here, threaded insert, so it is removable from the inside. So I can change that up if I want to later. And the way it's made, without me having to do anything, it actually stands off. It's kind of sitting on three prongs, if you will. So it doesn't affect the sound too bad, which is good. I do have some fake diamonds in here going around. And you can see that I did machine this, change the look of it from the KRS pommel. I don't know if you can see, but it's just a stator with a, I do have a Goth turbine in there. I love this etch though. I just felt like it had that touch of elegance to go along with what I could work with. On the chamber, it is a real quartz in there. I did just a couple little things in there to make it look like something was going on, but you can't see what's so good in there, so I didn't think that too much detailing was necessary. I've been playing around with making this look like a heartbeat. Get my timing a little bit better. It's kind of close. You know that this was a, the KRS Flagship was originally made for this to be the top of it and switch right here. So the set screw was right here for the blade retention. I have not added another one, but this is now the bottom. So I'll probably just put it right there to where it's not very noticeable. I did have to do a set screw right here for my chassis adapter. His threaded part right there was a little too thin for me to try to put a set screw in that where I would normally hide it, so I put it here. I did RGB on the LEDs in here so I could play around with colors. Oh, and this is, by the way, the Soundfont is one of the 3 that Nick Cohen from Starfall Sabres has now. I love them. I have 2 of his fonts on here, and the first font that you already heard was Next Door by Lord Blako. I love that one also. Got a little mix on here to get it purple. So you can see in there I got a little stainless steel mesh in the background. I have a brass top on there with just two rods coming down pointing at the crystal. Just so it looked like it had some depth to it. That was Nick Cohen's Soundfont also from Starfall Sabres. So on the install, I have, let me pull this off. I didn't get too in depth on the install of this, I didn't do any painting or anything fancy. I figured the external is what needed to look good on this. So this is Goth's new chassis. This is the second one I've done with the removable battery. I'm liking it so far. I didn't have room for a charge port on this one. Even though it's removable battery, I'd like to have still had a charge port, but it'll do. That's all I could fit. That's why I put the crystal up in here. So my chassis adapter, you can see right there, I did paint it black, but it comes from here all the way up to here. It serves as my crystal holder, my switch holder, and I milled out a slot in the back for wire passages so no wires would be seen through here. on my wiring, I got some wires underneath and some on top. I wasn't too concerned with it on this build. This is my personal Sabre. To get the wires underneath the board on this removable battery, you gotta really you gotta have them all flat. There's not room for any wires to overlap each other, and I just didn't feel like fighting with it. My only concern was that they did not get in the way of the LED. So anyway, I have about half the wires under and half on top. Nothing really special there. I did have to bore this grip out. It was 1.1. I bored it out to 1.12, 1.125, something like that, so that I could fit this chassis in here. And also, you know, like I said, I had to add this brass ring to create I needed just a little more length. The chassis fit, but by the time I put the speaker on there, it did not. This wire right here, this is actually wire wrapped around the choke point there. That is coil wire that I took out of a coil from a Canon Model Y flash also. So that's some old coated wire. I saw that and I thought the color would pop on here pretty good. And you know, it kind of just adds to the old look, like you know, heavily modified. So I have red, green, blue, red on these 4 lights right here. I might change that last red to a purple. I don't have any on hand. I need to get some. That's about it, guys. This one is not for sale. I'll never sell this one. If this gets sold, it's because I died and my grandkids didn't respect me. You know, because this was a gift. And, you know, not that I expect people to be giving me gifts or nothing, but I will cherish this. Well, thanks guys. Thanks for looking. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day. May the force be with you.